you have any introductions you want to say?
I'm Stacy, not Tracy. It's just kind of odd that Tracy and I have been friends for a long, long time, and she asked me to come work with her. In April, I worked at a junior high before then for several years, and I was the secretary, and this job has been quite rewarding compared to that part of it. But it's nice to meet everybody. I hope you guys have a great time on your trip. I'm going on this trip next year, so I'm really excited to hear what they have to say. And if you have any questions, you can call Tracy or I, and I will do my best to give you an answer. And if I don't, then I will get Tracy to give you an answer. So, but if you guys want to listen to them, they're going to give you all the details, and I'm excited for you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, Stacy. My name is Becky. Hello. Who would have been at Dorsey's travel show a few weeks ago? Yes, I would have seen you there. Perfect. Right. Anybody else? No? Okay, great. Well, nice to see you all again. My name is Becky with Mayflower. This is
I'm
Matt.
Matt. So I'm in from Denver, Colorado, so we're excited. We got you guys all set. You ready to go on your trip to Italy? That's what we're going, right? That's where we booked the flights.
That's okay. That's okay.
This is a mystery tour. We're taking this as a mystery tour. Awesome.
So these are what we call your travel documents, and we keep everything pretty informal. So we're gonna kind of go through this if you can hang on to questions until afterwards. But this is really, we're just gonna point out some key information. You know, this is still in the United States. New England is still on the US dollar, believe it or not, so we don't have to exchange any money. It's the electrical outlets are the same, so this is a pretty simple trip. But we understand maybe things have changed a little bit. Traveling, maybe you haven't flown in a while. But there's a lot of information in here to read through. So we're gonna kind of point out all the tricks. The first thing I do before I leave on any trip, whether it's in the country or out of the country, is let your bank know that you're leaving town. So if you plan on using your credit card or debit card, they don't shut your card down for having charges in another city. And make sure you have enough prescriptions. Now there's parts in here on the prescription that say have them in their original bottle. As long as you know what you're taking, that's the most important, because if you're not responsive, if something happens, cross our fingers, but things do happen. If the airport or the medical attention, they just want to know what you're taking so they know how to treat you. So it's best to either have a list of your prescriptions, or at least know what you have in there, and then also make sure your credit card. And the third thing, probably not an issue so much anymore, but make sure your cell phone works away from this area. Now we're not going out of the country, but sometimes we get into roaming charges and things, and I don't want to hear about any fights if you come back to a $2,000 phone bill as well. So Becky's going to go over kind of the departures and airports, but again, this is pretty informal. We'll kind of walk you from start to finish and make sense of all the stuff in there.
Yeah. So we'll go through some of the documents in no order of importance. The first one I picked up here is kind of a cream-colored sheet, stapled in the bottom corner. This lists your tour manager. It's Uda. She's one of the best in New England, so you'll really enjoy Uda. And the things I like to highlight on these pages are your hotels. So it lists your hotels, the address, the phone numbers, the amenities and inclusions of the hotel. I like to take a picture of these documents so that I have the names and locations of these hotels. So if I'm out wandering around, shopping, whatever, I at least know where I'm coming back to at the end of the day. If I'm spending some leisure time getting out around town. The other thing I like to do is make a copy of this and leave it with my emergency contact. That way they have an idea of where I'm going to be, my itinerary, the hotels in which I'm staying, just in case they can't contact me, my phone's not working because we're roaming somewhere, we don't have cell service, they at least know where to find me. So, and if you've got that full itinerary, it's been a minute since you booked this tour, so you might need a refresher on what are we doing again? Where are we going? What are we staying? The things to note further on this page is the weather. So ideal time of year to visit New England. Cooler mornings, cooler evenings, might get nicer during the day, so wear layers, comfortable clothes as you're out touring, so we don't need to be fancy, just nice comfortable shoes, well worn in, so sweatshirt, maybe umbrella, or 70s during the day and then 45 to 55 in the evenings and mornings. So very nice, right?
Can I hear some cheers for that? I'm with you.
Especially today. I mean, today was nice. Don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of ready for those cool
Oh.
temperatures. Ready for it. So yeah, again, comfy, casual clothing. You know, when you go out on the boats too, you know, it might be windy, a little bit cooler when you're out there in the middle of the water. So you know, wear layers. You can load the jackets on and don't get too chilly. But you know, bring a hat, your sunscreen, maybe some swimsuits. We have pools at some of the hotels, so if you want to take a dip, you've got that. So those are the items to note on this page in particular. Next, so when you, so we've got the information here with the green tag. This is your flight details. So this lists your, you're leaving from Evansville. Is anyone flying out of a different airport? Is everyone out of Evansville? Probably, most likely. So you've got the flight details there, you know, your departure times, the connections. Evansville, I understand, is a pretty small airport, but I would get there about 2 hours in advance. I hear that.
40 minutes.
I'm crazy and I like to get there early, so.
I was just
They're
gonna
not,
say,
I
they
know
don't
they're
even,
not always open. I think it opens
Yeah.
at 5 a.m., but probably best to be there at least by 5 a.m.
you all are
4:30
so
maybe.
lucky. I live in Denver where we have to get there 7 hours early. A, you drive to another state, and B, it's so big, so this is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, Evansville's a great place to start. So you've got your flight details on there. Since we're flying domestically, we can't include the baggage fees if you are checking your bags. On American Airlines, I think it's like $30 to $40 per bag. And so that is payable to the airline when you get to the airport. So you'll take care of that when you go to check in. You go up to the gate agent, yep, get your flight, get checked in, get your boarding pass, pay for your bags. Or if you're a light packer, you don't have to pay for baggage fees, you just have carry-on. So,
I wish we could include the baggage charges. By law, we can't. Call it what you want, but I think it's so the airlines can raise it whenever they want. It's a legal law. And the baggage rules are in your, kind of your tips and tricks. And I told you we're jumping around here, but when you get to the whole general information, the biggest thing is everyone can have a carry-on bag, no more than 50 pounds. So if you plan on doing some shopping and you leave Evansville with a 49-pound suitcase, you're gonna pay extra. And sometimes it gets up to over $100 if you're over 50 pounds. And it depends on the mood of the day. If you're 50.1, they might let it slide, or they might say $100 charge, and then you're throwing underwear away at the airport. And then, so everyone can have a checked bag, a carry-on bag, like a backpack roller bag that fits in the overhead bin, and then a personal item, a purse, a camera bag, anything like that. This is also a good time to note, do we have any requests for CPAP machines or oxygens? Okay. Have you gone over that information with Tracy?
No.
So you're the
I would
expert.
say at the end, just let Stacy know.
We'll make notes of that,
Yeah.
because that does not count as one of your items.
No, but Stacy will make note of that and then let the office know.
I do know that when I flew out just a month or two ago, they made me take I have a CPAP machine, they made me take it out like it was a laptop, like it's an electronic. So I had it in my carry-on and they opened my bag up, went through everything, and then I got my carry-on back. It was just
I
a mess.
just flew out a week or two ago, and I had my CPAP in my check luggage, no problem.
No
Yeah, if you
problem.
put it in your checks, I think that's okay, but I took mine in my carry-on, so if you do, I would put it in your big piece of
Yeah,
luggage.
and keep in mind your carry-on item, when you're out touring, you might want a little backpack or a drawstring bag to bring a jacket, a bottle of water. The overhead bins on the motor coach are not as big as overhead bins on the flight. So when you're looking through your documents, it's gonna say a carry-on that fits in the overhead bin. They're talking about the airplane, but it's gonna be a lot smaller on the motor coach. So that might be a little purse, backpack, not for the men. I meant a purse for the women and a smaller bag. Or maybe if you're a nice gentleman, you just carry water and stuff for your wife. I don't know.
And then this page too, so you've got the little welcome, yeah,
If you could locate a number and go ahead and put a frequent flyer in there.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you just wanna write those
If it doesn't work, we can help you, or when you check in, they'll grab it.
Yeah.
So, we love the airlines. We love the airlines. They're the hardest to work with sometimes. We need them. We need them. We need them. But their systems, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes travel agents will tell you they're the necessary evil. But we'll try to get it ahead of time, if not at the check-in. Woo!
Who's just
Ooh, that
email-
looks
just
fantastic.
email me?
Tracy and
Yeah,
Stacy.
you can just email me and I will let them know. Yep.
Yes.
Perfect.
The bus, we can put both the carry-on and the checked luggage underneath,
Carry-on, so if it's a rolling carry-on, yes, that would go underneath motor coach.
because you're saying it's
Right,
smaller.
exactly, yes.
Yeah, so
exactly.
you would put everything under, it's $100 fee to put a bag under the bus, but I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Anything can go under there. If your husband or wife acts up, maybe, I don't know.
Throw them under the bus. Literally. So the next piece is, this welcome letter, white, papers here. The second page, again, is just reiterating your flight details, talking about the baggage fees that, you may have when you get, to the airport and you get checked in. The next page, the last page, I want to take note of the, 1-800 number. So if something happens, you can't make it on tour, something comes up, certainly you wanna call Stacy and Tracy at Toursy, let them know, but in case you can't get a hold of them, you can also give us a call as well. So that 1-800 number is our emergency line. If you need to cancel your tour, something, flights canceled, whatever, you need assistance from us, that phone number is right there. And then arrival transfer instructions. So when you get to the airport in Boston, you'll claim your luggage and baggage claim. And then once you arrive, you've got your luggage, you'll exit baggage claim where you'll meet, either the Mayflower representative. I think here we have actual vouchers for transportation between Boston and the Boston Park Plaza Hotel. So when you get to the airport, again, you'll get your luggage, and then you'll proceed outside and follow the transportation signs to the taxi stand. And you'll use this voucher, you'll advise the attendant that you need a Metro cab, and we'll be utilizing this voucher. So you wanna make sure this is handy. I always have my documents.
Yep.
Yep, just a single loose leaf piece of paper that says Metro cab on the top. And so you'll let the attendant know that you'll be using this voucher to be transferred to the Boston Park Plaza Hotel. And this can only be used by Metro cab drivers. Gratuities are not included, so you may want to have some singles with you to tip the driver. But this voucher is,
Have one per couple,
yeah,
because it says
Roommate have one?
name of passenger.
Here it is.
let's see, one voucher per trip.
Too many.
I know.
Yeah, per
We'll
trip,
help you
so.
eliminate some of them so you don't have to take all of them. Everyone has their voucher. The
Yeah.
tour guide actually might be, I don't want to guarantee they'll be there, because Boston traffic, but since this is the largest group on the trip, there's 52 total on the trip. So you're joining people from Chicago, Wisconsin, Michigan, and my state, Colorado. So they might bring you goodies from Colorado.
And you just need this for one couple, one per couple? Or one-
Yeah, I mean, one per person, couple, whatever you have,
Yeah.
they'll take you all. They have the
Yeah.
total number count, so.
So,
But it's real easy, right after you claim your bag, just straight ahead, the exit door, right outside the stand.
the taxi stand. Yep. So.
If your bag makes it. I mean, it will make it,
Yeah,
it will
you'll-
make it. Just kidding.
So that's the flight information, your arrival information. Another thing you'll want to complete and have ready that first night at your welcome dinner, your tour manager will collect this. It's just a tour member information. So they'll want, your information, cell phone, your emergency contact. So in case something happens while on tour, they have this handy to contact your, emergency, if it's your brother, your sister, kids, whatever. But then also, at the very bottom, if you're celebrating a birthday or an anniversary or a special occasion, the tour manager wants to make sure that they're aware of that, so we can celebrate accordingly. And so part of that, tour member information.
Slow down for a second.
Yeah.
Everyone caught up? The goal is, by the end of this, we're gonna help you kind of eliminate what you don't need and what you do need.
It's kind of with this paper. It's kind of that same type.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay. We're all good to this point?
Did you say 56 people?
52.
And that could be one bus?
One bus. The bus holds 48, so no, 52.
So we're riding on top.
The bus holds.
Discount?
If I don't get kicked out of here tonight, the bus holds 56. So there'll be.
You're gonna divide the groups up, I hope, for tours, or are 56 people supposed to go together?
It's all, well, most attractions, they're ready for you, and we have the Whisper headsets.
Yeah.
Where you get the little box with the headphones, so when your guide's talking. There's a lot of local guides, or not a lot, but a few local guides on this tour as well. So they'll come on and make it very leisurely paced, and the tipping suggestions are here as well. This is another tag. This baggage tag right here is something you would want to maybe fill out before you go as well. So you'd want to put this on your bag for the hotels. This is how the hotels know how to get the bag to your room. You really just need your name on here. It says a tour and tour date and your address and your roommate. They just want to know what your name is, because then they put little stickers or they mark it for your room. So don't worry about anything other than your name on here. But as you can see, these are really strong. So if you put it on your bag before you leave Evansville, it's not going to make it to Boston. So you can try, but you might want to keep it with you and put it on once you collect your bag, once you get to the first hotel. If you break it, they'll have extras. But this is how they know to get your bag to your room.
I just wanted to confirm,
Yeah.
we do pick up our own luggage at Boston
Yes.
and take it to the.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're the only one who can touch your bag off a baggage claim legally.
Yeah.
Well, that's different than a lot of tours.
They come in and get your bag for you?
Hawaii, we didn't have to.
Oh, laws don't apply there.
All right, and I see some people have this in their hand. This is our Mayflower loyalty rewards. I'll wait a minute so people can find that. So as a thank you for traveling with Mayflower, we have a little voucher or credit for you to use on your next Mayflower tour with us and Toursy. So for this reservation, it is a $100 in loyalty rewards. The expiration date is January 30th of 25 or 29th, depending on your departure date. So this can be used for any of Toursy's the river cruise that she has next year, whether it's Tulip Time on the Rhine, the Danube, Christmas markets, Red Rocks on the Rockies, and I think what other tours that she has. So plenty of tours that they have with Mayflower next year that you can utilize this. So you just send this back into Toursy and she'll get that applied to your next reservation.
And if you lose it, we have record of it.
Yeah, we keep.
There's a lot of stuff in there you might lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. The last piece, or when I guess we'll look at this, if you have travel insurance, if you've purchased our travel insurance, you have the plan policy in your documents in case you need to refer to it. Hopefully not, hopefully just stuff it back in and you don't have to look at it again. But in case there are any travel delays, cancellations, things like that, and you have to overnight somewhere or grab lunch or something out of the scheduled itinerary, keep all of your receipts. So that way, when you get back home, you can submit the claim and have all of the proper documentation for that claim submission. So here's all that information for the travel insurance. And the last piece that we'll review is this trifold, the general information and handy tips.
This is really the bulk of the documents. If you have questions, we kind of fly through it because some of it seems kind of silly, but it's really not a bad idea to go through it all because it's going to talk about your bags again. It goes into dimensions and things, but we all know what a carry-on and checked bag is. So 50 pounds, if you don't have a scale at home, you can check it at the airport, but they do make the digital scales at Target for $10 that you grab the handle with it and you pull it up and it tells you the weight. But it just depends. It gives you packing tips. I laugh at it because it, it tells you a sunscreen, a hat, a camera. It's like, oh, we are all adults. I think we either have our
forget,
phones or
though.
we know, but I don't know.
You can forget from time to time, right? It happens. So you can all read through this, at your leisure, making sure you understand everything and all of the details that are in here, but highlights, the tour manager, they're there to make sure you're having a safe, enjoyable trip. Any questions, concerns that come up while you're on tour, go straight to them. Let them know if there's anything you need, you have questions, whether it's about, the tour itself, the itinerary, where you're visiting, Boston. They are an expert in the destination. They are your concierge during your free time, so they're happy to provide their recommendations for dinner, lunch, shopping, entertainment. They're a wealth of information. So just go to them for anything you need. They're happy to help.
And your hotel in Boston, because you all know the itinerary, so we won't, hopefully you know the itinerary, what you purchased. But we won't go through that as detailed, but that first day we kind of let everyone get in, get rid of jet lag, travel days, doesn't matter how far you're going. But this hotel is right by the public garden, or the Beacon Hill Public Garden. You can walk to the Cheers restaurant from the TV show. There's the outdoor vendors, the marketplace, the churches. So it's a great location when you get there just to go exploring. And it's only 1 hour ahead of the time zone, so it's probably not too much jet lag, but.
Well, who lives on Eastern?
Oh yeah, I forgot where we.
I'm sure half of us are on Eastern, half of us are on Central.
Okay, I like you all. Can anyone explain why that is in Indiana? Okay, I'm not saying I don't like it, it's just hard. Okay, carry on, Becky.
Nobody wants it.
So, and then there's tips on tipping. So, it's a way to say thank you to your tour manager and bus driver. We have suggestions here for gratuities, $6 to $8 per traveler per day for your tour manager, $3 to $4 per person per day for your bus driver. And that can be paid at the end of the tour. So what I like to do is, have that money in cash set aside in 2 envelopes, tour manager and the bus driver, and then at that farewell dinner the last night, go up to them, say thank you so much, great time, present them with their gratuity, their tip, that just to keep it organized, so you don't accidentally spend that money, or you're not running to the ATM on that last day, that last evening. But again, this is, individual basis, it's your discretion how you would like to tip your driver and your tour manager. And then for those local guides, those step-on guides who are with us just for the morning or the afternoon, they're not with us the whole week, we suggest $2 to $3 per person for those gratuities for those local guides. Any of the included meals in the tour, you don't have to worry about the gratuities there. All of the luggage handling is included, and so that is the luggage handling, on and off the motor coach, delivering it to your hotel room. As you're changing hotels, they will collect it from your hotel room, take it to the motor coach, and then when you get to the next hotel, they'll deliver it to the next hotel room. So all of that's taken care of, and so you don't have to tip there either. The next page lists all of the luggage information about, weights and, whether it's your check bag cannot exceed 62 linear inches, length plus width plus depth, and so just make sure that you're not, don't have too big of a bag, and that you are within that 50 pounds restriction, or just be prepared to pay a little bit extra when you check in at the airport. Let's see. Prescriptions and valuables, make sure you're packing your prescriptions and valuables inside your carry-on, not your checked luggage. Just in case, your luggage goes missing or it's delayed a day or two, we don't want that to, affect your enjoyment of the tour, but then also pack some additional medication just in case you are delayed a couple of days. So pack a few days extra medication, again, in your carry-on. Again, if you have a CPAP machine, use of oxygen, let Stacy know, she'll make a note, and then she'll let our office know, so we can notate that on your reservation, as well as wheelchair. If you need wheelchair, in the airport, let Stacy know as well, and we'll get that scheduled. If you have any special dietary needs, gluten-free, vegetarian, things like that, that would be important for us to note. Let Stacy know that as well, and we'll get that added to your reservation. Your packing checklist, bring your driver's license or your passport or whatever you're using to get checked into your flight. Let's see, going through airport security, make sure all of your liquids fit within that, 1 quart size bag. They're all 3 ounces or less. Let's see. Any questions?
Pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
Temperatures are in there. Should be fairly similar to here, maybe.
And we'll give everybody name tags and reusable water bottles when you get on tour. So that during that welcome dinner, they'll pass around name badges, get to know you, pass around water bottles. And you have this nice, these are brand new, these little bags. So I like them because they're kind of hands-free, and so you just get to, wear them like this, show off their Mayflower logo. You can put your, cell phone in here, your wallet, and then that way as you're out touring, you can be hands-free and you don't have to carry a bag or things like that. I feel like most ladies carry a side, little satchel anyways, so I like these personally, pretty nice. So.
Biggest thing is your tour manager is your number one resource. So once you meet them at the airport or the hotel, whichever you first see them, they're your number one resource. So if you need maps in your free time, they can help you get around. If you have a specific place you're trying to get to, some of you like to go to Hard Rock Cafes. There's actually one a few blocks from the hotel. You can get your Boston Hard Rock. But whatever you're looking for on your free time, or if something happens and you have an emergency or medical attention, let them know. They also have a cell phone that will work if you need. So you need to get a hold of someone at home and your phone doesn't work or all that stuff. And I guess, yes, sir.
I have 2 questions. So 6 a.m. is Wheels Up, and so are we saying that we have to be there by 4 a.m. or be there at 5 a.m. to get in the doors? Those who live in...
We recommend 2 hours. You know your airport better.
No, I don't. I've never...
4:30?
4:30 be fine.
4:30 will be fine.
Okay, so, and the other thing, I've never had to go long-term parking in Evansville. Is it clearly marked where the long-term
Yes.
parking is?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
So I'm guessing, those are good questions. And I'm guessing those of you know, you pull in and it'll say, just direct you to the parking. Is it walkable to the terminal? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
I'm from Denver. We take shuttles.
Take you from
Yeah.
where you parked into the wall.
It's not very big parking
Okay.
lot at all.
No, and that's why we're here. Good questions.
And you've also got Stacy and Tracy's cards also in your information, which includes their phone numbers, their email, so.
And those are our cell phone numbers, you can call us anytime. And Tracy and I will both be at the airport that morning too.
Oh, great.
So if you have any questions or if you need help with anything, we will both be there until you guys go get through the thing. Yeah, and like it does, it says it leaves at 6, but that means the plane leaves at 6. They usually start boarding, 5:30?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least a half hour,
Close
20
the
minutes,
doors,
yeah.
that
So, yeah, I would definitely give yourself enough time. I will say that Evansville is not that big of an airport, but I have dropped my daughter off many times in the morning, and she was military, so she got through quickly, but if you don't have TSA pre-check, that line could be long, because and I would suggest too, download the Delta app or the American Airlines app, because you're flying Delta on the way, and you're flying American Airlines on the way back. You can check in, Delta will send you an email, you can check in on that app. It gives you up-to-date information of where your gate that you're gonna be dropped off at, and in case your gate changes for your next flight. Because it could say on here where it was, and it could tell you before you leave, but when you land, it could be a totally different gate. So I would download those apps, and I can send an email out tomorrow to everybody about what they look like and different things for both of those. And then they help tremendously, and it's it's kind of fun. On the Delta one, I like to look and see like where we're
Track your
flying
bags.
out. And your family can actually track you too. If they download that app, they can, get on there and see where you're flying.
So you have the app, and then do we put it in a certain number that's on our itinerary?
Yes, yeah, the number that's on here, the DL 4025.
Okay,
Yeah, that flight number up there, you'll put that in your name,
okay.
and then you'll, be able to. Now, if you have a bag, you do still have to check your bag, but at least you can check it.
I'm used to doing them when I book my own flight,
Yeah,
and it automatically populates,
yeah,
but I'm, okay.
yeah, we do the same thing, so.
Oh, this is exciting. Thank you to Tracy. I know she might be watching.
Oh.
She's not live, is she?
No, she's not
Okay.
live.
Forgot, probably recording.
We had a question?
We're recording, so for the other people.
Mandatory masking
Nope.
anywhere on our trip?
Nope, we're all good. Yep.
Airlines, no airlines either?
Nope, we're all good. Things are set. It'll be fun. Do we have any football fans in here? Okay. Feel free to make fun of Patriots fans if you see them. My wife's from New England and I deal with that every day. So.
Well, thank you everyone, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Yeah, if you go home and you think of a question or something, you're more than welcome to email me or call, and, I will try to get that information. If you do have frequent flyer numbers, or if you have like a TSA pre-check number or something that you have to give us, then, just email that to me and we can get that sent in beforehand, and like I said, we'll both be there to help you.
We can put our own information into.
Yeah, you can, yeah, but we're here for whatever we can help you with, or any questions you have, so.
We got pre-assigned seats.
I don't know if the seats.
It might not have printed them on there, but
They may
Tracy
have
can
not.
ask for them, or Stacy.
Yeah, and if you download that app, it may tell you, a lot of times on the app, it will show you where your seat is.
And the
so.
best way, if you want
Yeah.
to change, just tell them at the gate, face to
Yeah.
face. Or if you want to upgrade, sometimes I'm a salesperson, so if you don't ask, it's a no. So
Yeah.
now if all of you ask for upgrades.
I was back there.
Yeah, that's
There's
perfect,
room
you never
in
know.
there's room on the motor coach seat you underneath there if you have to come with.
No, you're already sticking me under the bus. No, I'm sorry, we kind of had a family thing for Becky to get back to, but
Come along.
thank you all. This is what keeps us going, and Stacy and Tracy. So don't forget those loyalty credits for future trips.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Travel's our life, and I can't wait to hear about your fall colors, pictures, and I don't know, lobster. If you don't eat seafood, there's other options too. What else?
You're having.
Forget, we're good?
Yeah. So good. Thank you. Yeah, give that to Stacy.
Oh, that's a good point.
Frequent flyer numbers.
Stacy, I'll
Let
tell
her know,
everybody.
yeah.
And I think previously, I gave.
Couple more things real quick. If you have frequent flyer numbers, let Stacy and Tracy know and they can add them, or you can add them at the airport. And we were talking if there's any wheelchairs requested. We got one. Any special diets, make sure they know about that so our crew can know about it. If you have any allergies or, I guess that would be it. It's the end of the day, my brain is fried. But if there's any special requests, perfect. I think that's it. Are you good, Stacy?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
Thanks everyone.
You guys are a good group.
You're not gonna tell us the usual thing, are you?
What's that?
It had been a pleasure telling us, it's just a pleasure to be here.
So true. But hey, you're putting me under the bus. Oh,
Nice guy, too.
yeah.
Your wife told me to.
Oh, that would be luxury. Oh, you guys are awesome. Have a safe trip. Enjoy the rest of your night.